Gentleman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Utah for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the ranking member. I have, as I've listened to my colleagues' comments and questions, I have some that were originally questions, and I'd just like to now comment on your responses and reemphasize that they're important to me as well. The first is the 988 number and the issue with responding to the area code versus the actual location. So let me just weigh in on that also being important. The second is this issue of 2.5 gigahertz spectrum and the industry not feeling like the FCC has been responsive in answering their questions. I know you've answered that, so I'm not going to ask you to answer that again, but I just want to weigh in on the importance of also communicating with industry and helping them understand your position. The third, Chairwoman, I noted your recent letter to Senator Grassley recognizing the agency's lack of jurisdiction in the online video marketplace and rightly demonstrating regulatory restraint. I just want to echo those sentiments and caution the Commission from taking action that would attempt to shoehorn an old TV regulation into the growing MVPD marketplace. Now to a question or two. Madam Chair, the FCC Inspector General and Government Accountability Office has issued reports about fraud and the lack of anti-fraud controls in the Affordable Connectivity Program. The Inspector General has made some recommendations for improving the program's oversight. What steps has the FCC taken in response to those reports and safeguarding the program from waste, fraud, and abuse?
Thank you. We are doing everything we can to make sure that this program runs with, that it's strong and it's run with structural integrity. Remember, Congress asked us to set up the Affordable Connectivity Program in 60 days. In 60 days, the people sitting before you built the biggest broadband affordability program ever. And so when the Inspector General makes recommendations, we take a look at them and we identify what we can implement and how fast we can implement. We've put new fraud controls in. We've changed our vendors for different language and translation services. We've also made adjustments to make sure that all of the, that there are no commissions for those who reach out and try to sign people up for these services. We've taken a lot of their recommendations and put them to work.
Thank you. Commissioner Carr, did you have any response on that?
You know, look, we have to obviously stay very vigilant on this. One idea that I've thought about is attempting to formalize the process of the FCC Commission's consultation with the Inspector General. I've spoken to the Inspector General before we've moved forward, and the chair and her team have as well, but that's not formalized. I think one idea maybe going forward is to, when we have big spending initiatives above some threshold, or maybe all of them, we consult with the Inspector General and we put their recommendations in the FCC order, and we can respond to it. Hopefully we're agreeing with them, but we can at least respond to what the IG said. If we formalize that process, I think maybe that could help us catch a little bit more of this on the front end.
I do want to acknowledge that in our draft Affordable Connectivity Program order, we shared it with the Inspector General to take in those kind of recommendations.
Thank you. Let me switch gears a little bit. I represent a large rural district. They're very concerned about rip and replace, as all of us are. The funds are not there for them to complete their work. I'm just curious to all of the commissioners, have you heard from providers that will be shutting down their networks if they don't receive the full reimbursement? And what are you hearing, and what solutions do you have? Madam Chair?
We're going to need help from Congress to make sure we fully fund this program so that we can take this insecure Chinese equipment out of our nation's networks. Right now, those small carriers that rely on this program have a really hard choice. They can rip that equipment out of their networks, but be paid a limited amount of money to do so. Or they could leave it in and make sure that those networks are not secure, and it's not something that we're going to be able to tolerate in the United States.
Not a good
choice. We're going to need your help on this.
Yeah. Anybody else want to weigh in on that? Good. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
Thank you. The gentleman yields back. The chair